Greetings gastronomes. Today I'm going to be doing a short video on dim sims, or as we like to call them, dimmies. Now, according to Wikipedia, dim sim is a Chinese inspired meat and vegetable dumpling style snack food popular in Australia. It was popularised in the late 1940s by William Chen Young, a Chinese Australian born in Wagunya up on the Murray, whose family originally came from Guangdong. It's the father of celebrity chef Elizabeth Chong, and the name dim sim comes from pronunciation of dim sim in Toisanese, the predominant dialect spoken at the time by central Melbourne's Chinese community. So, everyone thinks it's a Chinese, well, not everyone these days, but a lot of people now realise it's an Australian invention based on, loosely based on dumplings of some kind. But really it was made up by William Young way back in the 1940s, and it's very, very popular in Australia. Now, I myself love them. I always liked the fried ones. I'd never tried the steamed ones until I was in my late teens, and we were going to see a rock concert down on the Great Ocean Road. I think it was in Apollo Bay, and we were holidaying at Barwon Heads, I think, or Ocean Grove, and we drove across to Apollo Bay for this concert. And on the way we stopped at a fish and chip shop, and I bought 4 of them steamed. And I thought, oh God, they're good. And so on the way back I bought another 6. Best dim sims of my life. Fantastic. Now, the sim that everyone knows, dim sim that everyone knows, is this. It's the Marathon dim sim. Made by Marathon, who are based in Kensington in Melbourne. And they've been operating since 1963 according to the packet. And when you go to a fish and chip shop in Australia, or a roadhouse, you can go to a roadhouse anywhere in Australia. Like I've been in Nullarbor, and I've been up far Northern Territory, and you get dim sims. And they're these. They're Marathon dim sims. Always Marathon dim sims. This is the normal Australian dim sim. There are others, but this is the stuff you get most commonly. And in my opinion, it's the best. It's the best that I've tasted so far. I haven't tasted every dim sim, that's for sure. Let's just have a closer look at one, shall we? As you can see, they've got a wrapping, some sort of floury wrapping, and inside is so grey. Inside is a grey substance. A grey substance. Now, if you look at the recipe list on the pack, cabbage and beef are both at 24%. So it's half cabbage. Half of the mass of this product is cabbage and beef. Then there's wheat flour, wheat starch, water, salt, onion sugar, onion powder, spices, and natural flavourings, whatever those natural flavourings might be. So it's probably a quarter cabbage, a quarter beef, a quarter water, a quarter flour and spices. I'd say that's about what it is. So inexpensive. There's nothing expensive in that. And this is certainly not a high quality food. There's no way this is a high quality food. And it's easy to disparage it because it's made from cheap ingredients. Easy to disparage. But it's good, even though it's made from cheap stuff, and there are alternatives. I've tried the South Melbourne Market one and I don't like them. I prefer these. The South Melbourne market ones that some people think are great, you know, whatever. They're far too much pepper, far too much pepper. If you're listening South Melbourne market, there's far too much pepper. Ridiculous. And they're too big. This is the perfect size for a snack. And I think William Young knew that, because you just pop it in your mouth, beautiful. It's exactly the right size for a bite. Whereas the South Melbourne market ones are too big. There's too much meat, there's not enough of the wrapper. The ratio's all wrong. And then you get the small ones, which are too much wrapper and not enough meat, and the meat's, it just doesn't do it for me. It's not a proper dim sim. So these are the ones. Marathon. Buy them from the local supermarket, and you know, in frozen form, and you can cook them direct. You can take them straight out of the frozen bag, and you can just straight away cook them. I'll just put them back in my freezer. So I've been thawing these for a little while. And when you thaw them, you don't cook them quite as long. So I'll just put some boiling water in the steamer. Don't need too much. So I'll put a couple in the steamer. I'll get that on. Now the big question, of course, in Australia is which is the better way to eat them, fried or steamed? The big question. And there, you know, there are people on both sides, and quite frankly, I'm on both sides. Sitting on the fence, I love them both ways. So I'm going to cook them both ways, and I'm going to taste them on camera and give you my opinion. And perhaps finally answer the great question in Australian cuisine. Deep fried or steamed? So I'm just going to let the steamer come up to steam, and I'll steam them for 15 minutes, maybe a bit less, maybe 12. And I'll let the oil come up to temperature, which the Marathon pack recommends 170 degrees. So I'll use that. And I'll cook these for about 7 minutes, I think. About 7 minutes in the deep fryer, that'll be about right. Or until they're golden. I'll come back when they're done, or when they're nearly done. Okay, time's up. So the steamed have had a quarter of an hour. I'll just give you a look at what they look like in the steamer. Very nice, so I'll take those out. And I'll put them on that. Let them cool down a bit. I'll turn that water off. Now I'll show you the fried dim sims. Which are also done. So I'll just put them in there for a sec. Just want to drain off this oil a bit. Oh, look at that. Drain off the oil a bit. Dim sims. An Australian classic. Look how golden they are. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So just pat away the oil, the excess oil. And I'll put these here. And soy sauce. So it's compulsory to have soy sauce with your dim sims. Compulsory. I'm not listening to anyone else who says it's not compulsory. It's compulsory. Now, interesting thing about soy sauce. I've had occasion to cook with a soy sauce recently in my my bolognese potato pie. I put a bit of soy sauce in, and it was very good, as long as you don't put too much in. Very good. The thing about soy sauce, it has a very strong flavour, overwhelming flavour, and often very salty, but overwhelming flavour, unless the thing you're putting it with also has a very strong flavour, like beef. So you can put it in with beef and it's fine. They work well together. But most light things that don't have a really strong flavour, the soy sauce just overpowers it, like rice. Like rice has a lovely mild flavour, very mild flavour. So if you put soy sauce on your rice, you're just tasting soy sauce. You won't taste the rice, which is a crime. It's a crime against rice. So don't put soy sauce on rice, people. Don't do it. You have to be very careful what you put it on. The best thing you can put soy sauce on in the entire world is Australian dim sims. In the entire world, there's no better thing to put soy sauce on. This doesn't mean that the Australian dim sims have a very strong flavour. They don't have a super strong flavour, but they have a flavour that welcomes the soy sauce. For some reason, Australian dim sims, they just go with soy sauce. Like better than anything else. Like other great things with soy sauce, of course, you know, you put soy sauce with your sushi. But you don't put too much. You have to be careful not to put too much, but a little bit of soy sauce and a bit of wasabi, you know, with your sushi. Fantastic. Don't overdo it. But this stuff, you can put quite a bit on and it's fantastic. It's a marriage made in heaven. Now, I'm just going to take a shot of these. Get the money shot. So you do need both. You've got to have soy sauce with your dimmies. You don't really, I'm just saying that, but I mean you can eat them without it, but we strongly recommend dim sims. Might put that a bit closer for the money shot. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. I might come around the other side. Like that. Look at that. That could be the money shot maybe. Alright. Enough talking, let's have a taste. What do they taste like? So we'll start with a deep fried one. And I'll take a bite without the soy sauce. That's a dim sim we all know and love. Bit of a peppery flavour inside. The wrapping is crispy. Crispy wrapping. Floury, crispy fried floury wrapping. It's nice. And the filling, some kind of nondescript something. Like, I know intellectually it's a quarter cabbage and it's a quarter beef, but there's no cabbage texture there. I mean, you can probably see cabbage. Let's see if we can see some cabbage. Can't really. It's a fairly nondescript flavour. It's a comforting home flavour, but it's not, it's definitely not a Michelin star material. Anyway, then you dip it in the soy sauce. Oh, I've got to show with the soy sauce on it. Soy sauce dipped. Enhances the pepperiness, but not too much. Yeah, it's kind of a It's a receptacle for the soy sauce. You really taste the soy sauce. But because of the character of the dim sim, you're not ruining the character of the dim sim because the character of the dim sim wasn't that amazing to start with. I mean, I like them, I love them, but you know, they're not an exquisite riot for the senses, not by any means. It's great. Saltiness of the soy sauce and the really strong body of the soy sauce. It's the perfect vehicle for it. Very, very few vehicles that really suit that really strong flavour of soy sauce. Very strong, very few. But this does. Great. Incidentally, while we're on the subject of soy sauce, the best soy sauce in my opinion, kikkoman. Japanese soy sauce. I've tried some Chinese soy sauces like Pearl River Delta, which you can buy a great big bottle, you know, and from the supermarket. Well, it just has this horrible flavour about it, horrible smell, horrible flavour. It's like they put some sort of chemical in it. I had to throw it out. It was so bad I had to throw it out. Kikkoman. You won't have that problem with kikkoman. Right, let's try the steamed one. Very different texture. The wrapping is soft. It's not crispy. It's soft, and it's not puffed up. It's nice. It's nice and soft. Lays down, and the filling itself looks exactly the same, but somehow it's different. It tastes different. Put some soy sauce in it. Yeah. This is why I ate 10 of these one night when I was, I don't know, about 20. Wow. You put the soy sauce on that, this steamed dim sim with the soy sauce. Incredible. Just marriage made in heaven. For some reason, it's just a marriage made in heaven. I mean, it's just soy sauce and a dodgy looking cabbage and beef filling. It's great. I think I'll go another one. And when you get used to these, the steamed ones, I usually put the non-wrapper, or the bit where the wrapper's missing at the end. I put that in first because that soaks up the soy sauce, you see. The steamed one, you can taste the cabbage a bit more. It's got a more mild flavour, the steamed one's a little bit more mild. I mean, it's always a mild flavour, but it's a little bit more mild. And something funny, something weird happens to the soy sauce when it goes into this. It becomes less overpowering. It loses some of the strength of the soy sauce. I don't know why, but it does. Yeah, it's a classic. Steamed Australian dim sims with soy sauce. You can eat them without, so I'll eat this last bit without. Definitely nowhere near as good. Gotta have a soy sauce. And I'll go back to comparing it to the fried one. Right. It's a beautiful thing when you crunch through that wrapper. Nice crunchy wrapper. Soy sauce is beautiful inside. When you've been driving for a couple of hours and you're tired or a bit hungry, stop at a roadhouse, grab a couple of dimmies and soy sauce. Yeah. It's the bomb. They've got a bit expensive lately, I've got to say. They used to be cheap. Really cheap. Anyway, it's great. So, which is better, the fried or the steamed? Which is better? I think I'll call it a draw. They're both really excellent, but knee-jerk response would be to say steamed. Just tiny bit, maybe a tiny bit more tasty. Like if I'm going to eat a lot of them, I'm going to want to eat steamed, because the steamed ones go down much easier than the fried ones. They're not crispy. And like I say, something weird happens to the soy sauce when you dip the steamed one in. It loses some of its potency, which is really good effect. Don't know why that is. I think the steamed one is a bit more of a unique experience. The fried one, you know, you could be eating a chicken roll perhaps. But they're both really good. Highly recommended. And they are Marathon. So yes, you can buy other brands, and in my opinion, they're not as good. For all their talk, they're not as good. I'm sure there's probably some out there, and some Chinese restaurants have probably got really nice ones. But every time I've tried one in a Chinese restaurant, no, it hasn't been good. It hasn't been as good as the Marathon. I'm not saying there aren't. I'm sure it's possible to put, and you can make your own, like people on YouTube and Facebook make their own, which is fine, which is great. Go ahead and make your own. I'll probably make my own at some point. But in terms of ones that I've bought, I've never bought one that's better than Marathon. Even though, look, Marathon is a cheap, mass-produced takeaway food. It's definitely not Michelin star material. It's made from cheap ingredients. And you wouldn't think it's particularly amazing, but it just is. All right? It's just a great recipe. It's a great recipe. Marathon have got it right. All the other pretenders that I've tasted have not got it right. I'm sure it's possible to make a dim sum from better quality ingredients. I'm sure there's a bunch of cafes, Chinese restaurants around Australia that do make them from better ingredients, and who will tell you that theirs is the best. And maybe they're right. I haven't tried them, but every time you go to a fish and chip shop, you go to a roadhouse, you get Marathon. That's what you get, and they are really good. They are well worth stopping and picking up 2 or 4 or however many you want to eat. Like I say, it's pretty easy to shovel 10 down. They're steamed. Soy sauce and dim sums, a marriage made in heaven. It's probably the best marriage of soy sauce with another ingredient ever. In my opinion, probably. So, get into them.